In every anime series, there's always a ship. No, not those ships, but character ships. You know, the love type. Like everything else, they can be good, they can be bad, and they can be god-awful. Of course, the whole shipping debate is very opinionated since not everyone can agree on the same thing ever. It's a pattern of human history which applies equally to anime as well. Whenever there is disagreement over which 2D animated character is better suited for a relationship with another animated 2D character, the question always comes down to the majority. And there is no better ship that brings that majority together than Naruto and Hinata, at least in the Naruto verse. Two individually written characters with their own respective journeys coming together to become an official couple rather than simply a fanship. I know a lot of you would be skeptical to think of Hinata as an individually written character. In the eyes of many, she is not that well written. Of course, on the surface, it seems as though Hinata is just a meek little girl always crashing badly after Naruto, but there's more to her character arc than meets the eye. Her infatuation with Naruto isn't just one-dimensional. She looks up to him as a role model and tries to get stronger in her own individual journey through it. It's a gradual character development that culminates in her current persona as a strict mother and a supportive wife. Let's dissect this further, shall we? To truly understand Hinata, we need to go back to the humble beginnings of Naruto. When she was first introduced, she was a shy little girl who liked our titular protagonist just a bit too much. In the background though, she was having a really bad time. This weak little girl was being groomed to become the head of the Hyuga, a prominent clan in the Naruto-verse. Now at that time, the Hyuga was led by Hiyashi Hyuga, her strict father who wanted Hinata to become a ruthless fighter who doesn't flinch from finishing off her opponents. As Hiyashi eventually realized Hinata was unfit to lead the Hyuga in the future, she didn't have the mental aptitude required of a Hyuga, an attitude which Neji, being from the lower house, fully embodied. In a nutshell, Hinata was overshadowed by her more Hyuga-esque sister Hanabi and her cousin. So, within her own family, she was a disappointment in the eyes of her father and a source of jealousy and hatred for Neji Hyuga from the Hyuga lower house. With zero positive reinforcement from anywhere, she starts looking up to the energetic personality of Naruto. Not even being considered a Hyuga, she develops by herself in a similar manner as Naruto, with him being her prime inspiration. All this positive reinforcement from Naruto works as well. She takes on the hatred-filled spite of Neji Hyuga in the second stage of the Chunin exams, using her Byakugan and Trigram. While that fight was futile from the beginning, it indicated Hinata's resolve to keep fighting. A primary credit to that goes to Naruto, whose overt cheers kept her motivated throughout the fight. Without regard for her own life, she fights the Deva path of pain during the attack on Konoha arc. This time again, we knew the outcome of the fight, but we were blown away by the sheer bravery of this woman. Even when being told not to interfere, Hinata went to fight and support Naruto. He didn't rescue her or support her fights physically. All of those fights and their outcomes were due to her own personal growth or lack thereof. Her support for Naruto doesn't end there, in fact. When Naruto loses his fighting spirit after the death of Neji during the Ten Tails attack in the 4th Shinobi World War, it becomes a moment of severe disillusion for him. Hinata, however, snaps him back to the fight, telling him that he need not mourn for Neji but keep fighting for what Neji and the rest believed in. All of these events are meant to show how her love for Naruto made her into a stronger and more independent individual. I personally feel that the confession made by Naruto in the movie Last came about as a surprise. Of course, you don't see love develop at all between the two, but here's the thing. Both Naruto and Hinata do a very poor job of confessing their feelings of love, if at all. It's because of this that I'm glad the scarf came in at the right time to remind Naruto of Hinata. It wasn't a rushed love interest per se, but this external stimulus was very much needed. One of the best changes in her personality was after she got married to Naruto. While still retaining her timid nature, she has now become more assertive and strict. But more importantly, she is an inspiration to both her children. Even though I have reservations, not entirely disagreements, about her becoming a homemaker rather than continuing her career as a shinobi, I personally feel that it was all for the good. Hinata achieved full self-actualization. Her family, the Hyuga, became proud of her skills as a shinobi and acknowledged her as such. The father who once rebuked her for her skills is now the cutest grandfather to have ever existed. She got to fulfill her deepest desire of Naruto reciprocating her love for him. It's because of all of this that I feel that restarting her role as a shinobi in peacetime would be overkill to her writing. I personally feel that amongst the many women written by Masashi Kishimoto, she was written in the best manner. Of course, there are others, but there is a certain character growth to her that prompted us to create this video. If you liked what you had to say, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.